All right, hello. Welcome to the fourth game here at the NACL. I am Egad, joining me here in the studio. You can find us all on Twitter down there. But we're going to have an exciting another game for you guys. That is going to be Email Support taking on Vision, Valor, Victory, vVv. You all know them so well, as they've been having a pretty good time here in the NACL, climbing back up. Email Support managed to find a win against Super Team NA, and I forgot their second one. But now they're looking to try to take it over vVv. But we have picks and bans coming up for you guys. No one loses any of that, so it's going to be fun to see 6 finally, but yeah, it should be fun.
I think both of Email Support's wins might both have been versus Super Team NA, unfortunately for Super Team NA. But Email Support, I like them quite a bit. I would say they're a little bit up and coming. They've been getting better and better throughout the season. They've got some pretty cool tricks to their play. For example, Azingi is not a standard jungler. You can see the Fiddlesticks ban coming out that is not support Fiddlesticks, that is Azingi's Fiddlesticks being just tossed out as vVv do not want to take it. And shouts to Vision, Valor, and Victory and our production crew because we actually spelled their name right 3 times in a row.
Like the V's, there are 3 ways?
No Visiony, no Valerie, or like, there's like Vittery without an iron to see. Just, we've had some pretty good typos here, but bans now finished for Email Support. Out goes Elise, LeBlanc, and Vi. And what do you think for the last ban for vVv?
Guessing Cassidon.
Yeah,
obvious.
Guessing the Cast Man.
There's no way they let that through unless Pika was confident enough. All right,
They're
so let it
confident
through.
enough. All right.
And I was talking to Yusui on Twitter before today, and I said he said he was going to win in Name of My Beard, so if he loses, I'm going to shave. So it should be fun. He'll be back to a 12-year-old boy's face in no time, so if I lose the beard.
Well, if you believe in this beard, then you got to root for Email Support at this point. If not, you know, vVv will just sign you right back up on the bandwagon, as there's a good chance Yusui just may not play Cassidon. That could be the possibility, as Lee Sin now being picked for the top lane.
Huh. All right. That frees up Cassidon for Pekin Wolf, but there still are some priority picks either way to pick up. There's Thresh for Gaunty. There's Riven for Chris. He could go for a bunch of stuff in that top lane.
Maybe there's some sort of gentleman's agreement in the background. It's like, no Cassidon, guys. Come on. Let's stop it. Let's stop it now. Let's fight Cassidon at the source and just not pick him, as it looks like vVv not going for the Cass pick.
All right. So looking for comfort picks for Tails and Gaunty. I guess Caitlyn Thresh is what they're going to go for there. It is locked in, so going to be very fun. Still no pick for Cassidon here. If this is the EVLCS, you know they would be snagging that up right away, as they believe it's a free win, and it did get 2 wins today, so very interesting enough.
All right, there is also the possibility that neither mid laner plays a lot of Cassidon. I want to say I've seen them both play Cassidon at some point, though, even if it's just in solo queue. But if the teams aren't confident, Cassidon is someone who you do need to have a little bit of finesse with. You can't just rift walk in and pick up kills. You can do that eventually, but you have to do that a few times safer going on in the game early. And of course, his early laning is not very good. So if you're not confident in your mid game pickups with those ganks and those kills on Cassidon, then going for Cassidon can be pretty risky if you just don't know how to play the champion well enough. Still, would like to see him because he's open and available, so they really should pick him, but we'll see what happens. As if he hasn't been picked by now, I would actually not expect him to show up at all.
All right, so Lucian Annie going to be coming in for Zig and Adrian in that bot lane. Well, I'm pretty sure that's going to be a Zingi's Lee Sin. We see a potential Corki up for Pekin Wolf, as that is not Corki, oh my god, potential Nidalee for Pekin Wolf. That's one of his main mid laners, as they're kind of trolling us around with these picks here. Galio Karma could be pretty fun. Diana actually not too unmeta. She could come back in. Pretty good assassin. Either way, they're switching it up. And that Renekton I can see being a plausible pick for Chris, as well as the Pantheon that does get locked in for gets snuggled. So there we go.
Solid picks.
Not trolling us now.
I mean, Diana is just so close to being meta. I think if she could farm a little bit more reliably, she might be picked more often. But it's a little bit intense right now to go up against some of the mid laners like Ziggs as Diana. For that farm champion is kind of a tough nut to crack. Shyvana now being looked at for the top line. Shyvana seems to be the standard counter to Renekton. It does not necessarily work out all the time. You have to kind of do well early game where Renekton really shines. And if you fall behind, it's a rough line. If you stay even, eventually you can outscale, and Blade of the Rune King will just shred through his defenses. And Renekton can't really build both physical and magic resist, as you'll do mixed damage with that Blade of the Rune King, while Shyvana just builds Sunfire Cape, and there goes Renekton's damage.
All right, so what would be the potential mid pick here for Yusui? There's no Yasuo, there's Gragas, there's Cassidon, there's Nidalee, there's a bunch of stuff you can pick up. Orianna. Mordekaiser, I don't really think is going to be the pick there. There's the Jungle Karthus potentially for a Zingy, but that could go mid for Yusui, because middle Lee Sin something we're not accustomed to seeing.
That's something from like early Season 3. Of course, Froggen played it a couple times. We've seen it on Intanto back when he played mid lane for, I guess that would have been Cloud9 at that point in time, as that team went through many different names.
Orbit.
Whatever it was between Orbit and Cloud9, actually, I think they were X-Orbit for a while. That was their team name.
All right, so let's see. As swaps come through, we see the jungle cards for Zingy, and the mid Lee Sin for Yasui.
I am not confident until that's locked in. We'll see how that goes. But like mid Lee Sin, it's all about picking up those kills. The thing is, Italy is very good at escaping, but because she will not build a lot of armor early on, you can burst her down.
I do not like that.
I do not like it versus Italy, though. It is a rough lane, and it's also someone who does not scale well. You essentially become a very all-in mid-lane assassin, because Lee Sin scales incredibly well with AD. It's just you're always going to be in melee range. You're going to have no HP, and it can be pretty dangerous. We'll see if they do go with it, though. If so, then, I mean, that's a lot of kill potential onto a Nidalee if he can get a little bit of early damage down, then go for the massive, massive Lee Sin burst.
All right, so that's going to wrap up the champ select here. Summoner spell is going to be changed up and locked in, obviously. But we're going to go to a quick commercial break as we get through the rest of this loading screen to keep you entertained with some music. But don't forget to check out the sponsors down below. You can see all three of them. Loot Crate, $13, 37 cents a month. Get a nice crate delivered to your door with the latest gamer geek swag, apparel, and goodies. Also, there's Phoenix peripherals, or you can check them out at phoenixcollection.com. They have the best headsets, mice, keyboards, and mouse pads on the market, so check out them. And then there's Low Class.
Low Class will be a great way for you and a few of your peers to interact with some of your favorite Challenger and LCS pros. So the way the classes work is it'll be a hour-long stream with a pro showing a champion of their choice. You'll know in advance, of course. We've had some cool classes like, let's say, Sneaky teaching Draven or the Odd One teaching Jungle Pantheon just recently. And those classes will go way in depth. They'll show you the ins, the outs, the extremes of the champions, the basic stuff to learn it, and then, of course, the exploits the pro really use to maximize their efficiency. But with that, we're going to go ahead, take a quick break to go into music. We'll have email support coming up against vVv in just a couple minutes. But first, we'll take a quick shot to our other sponsors, and we'll be right back here at the NACL.
and welcome back here to the 4th game for tonight at the NACL Season 2, as it's going to be email support taking on Vision, Valor, Victory, vVv. You know them all too well. The boys in the red, well, email's blue, and I am EGAD, and joining me here is Studio for what should be a very fun game as you're getting a treat to another Azingi Karthus jungle.
Azingi Karthus jungle, and then Yasui mid lane on Lee Sin.
I don't know about that, but
It will be different for sure. All right, let's talk about this because this used to be a thing. Well, actually, there's an invade coming out from vVv. They might catch someone, but Lucy not in the tri-bush. Should be safe for vVv, as they've actually spread out very decently to protect against that. But what tends to happen with Lee Sin mid lane is early on, you toss out a resonating strike, and you go for just lots of all-in harass because you have so much more AD than most of their AP mid laners.
Please do not face check that, or do not walk near it.
And he should be safe right now. I'd say like 130, 140 is when it gets risky.
Conti's walking around, possibly looking for a death sentence, and then everybody's going to flash and follow up. All right, here comes. Death sentence does end up connecting. Flash stuns come in. Spears come out. A ton of damage goes through. Spear ends up connecting, forcing out the barrier. And with that, they get both of his summoners at the cost of a flash ignite from Chris and an ignite from Gaunty. If that spear hit without him barriering, he would have died for sure.
There's actually a lot of summoners burned by vVv to go for that. The issue is they went with the double ignite because they thought they could secure the kill. The spear was just short. Now, that's going to put email support in a really bad position for the bot lane because, well, Lucian's not going to have any nuke at level 1. He just has the escape. He just has the dash. So when he hits level 2, normally you expect that really good Lucian power spike. It's just not going to be there. He's not going to have the high burst. He's not going to be able to push against Caitlyn. There's going to be Tails and Gaunty going crazy in the bot lane because Lucian's just not going to have the right skills to survive against this. In the mid lane,
I don't know how he's going to survive with those auto attacks.
Yeah, this is going to be just rough. But in the bot lane, actually, Tails takes a lot of damage. He took a lot from the tower before, so kind of low HP already in the lane. Just went for a little bit of an early level 1 gimmick to harass down Annie in the bot lane. So it's still going to be rough as that Piltover Peacemaker does connect.
All right, and they were kind of going for a little cheeky play in that front brush. They were hooking the Piltover Peacemaker, but either way, they kind of just back off there. And I'm interested to see if Yasui's going to max out Safeguard, looking for the shield and sustain, or is he going to pick up a Doran shield later on, looking for some of that sustain and that mitigation of auto attack harass. I've never seen Italy versus Lee Sin, but I can only assume that Pika Wolf is going to get poked out here, actually.
That's decent damage that Yasui can do. And of course, this is all going to be a drain on Nidalee's mana. Other champions would actually just try and trade out or die. Nidalee will be able to sustain decently, so it's not a rough lane for her. It's just that early on, her mana expenditure will be quite high. And level 6, she'll have a good way to escape Lee Sin, but his burst combo will still be pretty high. She can't really get hit too many times.
So we'll see. I don't know if Pika Wolf has ever played against the mid Lee Sin, because that kind of like fell off a long time ago.
That's old school. That wasn't even common when it was a thing. It was played by very few pros. It's like Froggen, Yantanso, then occasional picks by other players, but even then it wasn't common.
All right, and Chris taking a bit of a turret shot up top there, shoving in the Dr. Mundo. Thorin's late start obviously very strong. We do have Yasui getting forced back a little bit while kind of seeing Pantheon motion towards the red buff and our bot lane. And, you know, with the summoner's gone on Lucian, it could be a little bit easier to gank him out, but he still has that dash, still pretty good mobility. And he first stun, not too bad. But either way, vVv asserting quite a bit of pressure in these lanes. But now Azingi has himself into the 2v2 in the mid lane, but not to find anything. Because, you know, Karthus can't really set up ganks too well unless he can get in position for a wall.
And at least could have gone on with that, try and get the cripple debuff onto Pantheon. But the risk with that is, well, if he goes in, he'll take an Elite Spear. Pantheon's still very tanky. They may have not been able to actually win that exchange. You see, we actually tanks out a Spear by going through it with Safeguard, so it doesn't get a lot of distance, and he also had that shield popped immediately. Just very efficient, though.
I feel like he's going to look to loop back around here. Tempest Cripple comes through. While up top, Chris and Dragon Raider going at it. Looks like Nidalee got over the wall with her flash. So that's burnt out there. Spear almost connecting into Yasui. Snuggle was there, if anything, too. So at least now they got the flash out of Pika Wolf. And they can set up another wall into a cripple combination before 6. That'd be pretty efficient. Once
Nidalee hits level 6, it's almost impossible to gank her with slows because she just leaps away. She'll be completely safe. But right now, not level 6 yet. That that Tempest Cripple combination with the Wall of Pain really makes the easy gank. It's going to be easy for Karthus to land his Skittles. It's going to be easy for Lee Sin to get auto attacks in. It's going to be very dangerous if Nidalee can't get that good ward cover to protect herself mid lane. Karthus, so back at base, going to go ahead and heal back on
Might
up.
have a dive up top here. Pantheon is in the tri-brush in the back. Gonna wait to see if Chris hits 6 off of this wave. If he does, that's gonna be a big fight for them if they can actually pick up first blood, or maybe Dragon Raider can outplay it and pick up a kill. I mean, that's right. We've seen Westerice do that a few times, and looks like they're positioning for it. As Chris not 6 though, not gonna look for it.
Yeah, Pantheon is going to back on out. No real harass went towards Dragon Raider when they went for that push, and Chris had actually gotten to about half HP at that point. Sure, the health potion will be fine now, but definitely going for the safer play instead of the aggressive dive. Moon has been getting dove left and right, though. Usually you see him dive pretty early on in the game.
Stun connects into the Gaunty, but they'll back out, just looking for some of that free anti-harass. No Doran's ring this time for him. Ooh, that pursuit looks really funny. It was awkwardly angled, and once again, going for a bit of a combo there is Adrian, but no stun comes out. As Zingi's going to be looking to come in, though. So
they should see him. There we go.
There's the ping. Okay,
Yeah.
so they back out, and Zingi still looking to make his presence known in this bot lane. Going to be going for a gank while Pantheon farming up. Not close to level 6 yet, so no man drop counter gank. So Zingi just hangs out in those lanes. He's like, can I go now? Can I go now? Now? Maybe no, now. But now Peak Wolf, level 6, gets the takedown, gets the swipe, and does a bunch of damage in return to Yusui. This is where it gets kind of dangerous for Lee Sin.
Yeah, at this point, Yusui actually might get engaged upon himself. Peak Wolf, of course, has a sustain, and Nidalee base damage in Cougar form is actually surprisingly high. You think of Nidalee as that long-range AP poke champion, that's how she ends up being in team fights, but you go Cougar form and land at level 6, if they can't punish you for that, you can out-trade most champions very easily.
Alright, so clearing out the wave, does connect the Sonic Wave. It looks like he's actually maxing that one for the extra execution damage, you know, and a lot of damage just outputs when you tag him with it. So picks a trap off on the side in that brush there, looking to drop a ward, but nothing crazy. Still no first blood, 7 minutes in. Seeing the teams just hold off, and I'm trying to figure out what the compositions of both teams are looking to do. It looks like a lot of kite and chase potential for vVv. Well, emo support, they can send Karthus in to die, then have Mundo just last forever. At least Sin, if he can one-shot somebody with the Haku and the Q combination with all of his abilities, that could be pretty good. And Lucian, just a great AD carry.
It's definitely an odd team comp because there's a lot of early champions to focus. Like, you have to kill Lee Sin fast, you have to kill Karthus fast. If not, Karthus surviving is never ever good for a team. And actually, this could be dangerous for Peckinwolf.
Looking to go in, Ignite gets dropped out. He kicks him away. The barrier's not going to
That could
last
be
long
enough.
enough. He gets the heal. One more tick.
One more tick.
No.
Oh.
Wow. Peckinwolf with a perfect heal.
Oh, wait.
Karthus
Here we
Requiem.
go. There we
You
go.
don't get away from that.
And
first
there's the first blood.
Wow.
The camera just doesn't even want to look at it. It's too gory. Still, that is that Lee Sin burst. And it was at, what, about half HP. Still got chunked down.
Yep.
It's about landing really 1 or 2 resonating strikes. And Peckinwolf will go back to base. And this is where it actually becomes really effective to be Lee Sin. It's still not a great matchup because Nidalee has so much ways to get away from Lee Sin. But Chalice of Harmony could be Athene's for Peckinwolf, not that effective.
BF sword for Yusui.
Yeah, there you go.
Man mode. All right.
He could go Hydra, he could go straight up Bloodthirster.
Bloodthirster it is.
Hydra will be more bursty, and Bloodthirster will, of course, be really sustained. And actually just give his core combo, not counting in the Hydra active, a lot of damage.
Are they going to do it?
They see him.
They hook onto Adrian in the back, though. He's going to be forced to flash. He needs to flash away. Stun comes into Tails. He's just going to give himself up. He knows he's dead. Yeah,
that was a bit of a greedy back there. They had a ward down in the brush. They could have backed a little bit further back, would have been safe. But for that very far forward, in range of a death sentence from the bush to sell it back, that's very risky. It's unfortunate, though.
This is smart for the vVv because they gave the image that they were running away. It looks like red buff is going to be applied out here.
Oh, Dragon's Rage almost up. Oh, not quite. About 2 more seconds, he could have picked up that kill.
Damn. So, all right. So the snowball potential for Lee Sin is there.
This is how we used to work back in the day. He works the same damn way. It's really impressive to watch when it is successful. But Chris now,
what are you doing there?
I mean, he's looking for that kill. Lee Sin's pretty all in. He will have the safeguard as a backup option, but only to the minion wave. And he'll go very far forward if he does land a resonating strike.
Oh, no. Oh, okay, so he goes back into the minions, looking to go into Peek and Wolf here.
He almost gets the kill.
No, a spear comes out from the flash, or from the leap away, so he can end the flash there. He kicks away Chris, trying to run away from him.
He should be safe.
He runs towards Mundo, gets a ward down for a safeguard, and it looks like he will be able to escape. So, nonetheless, he didn't have to burn his flash either, so save that summoner spell.
And yeah, some time was wasted by Chris. That actually gave a lot of time for Mundo up at the top lane to farm back up, even CS across the map. Overall, it's essentially kind of a farm fest for both sides, except for Lee Sin, who didn't really burn anything in that exchange. It is flash down, though, for Peckinwolf.
Yeah.
That is, barrier not going to be up for a decent amount of time. Peckinwolf as well. Definitely still great time for Yusui to go for kills. But Lee Sin will not reliably scale into late game. He can assassinate almost anybody late game. The issue is going to be, he can also be killed very quickly himself if he doesn't go for tanky items, which you don't tend to see very much.
I feel like the BT, then like maybe a Spirit Passage and possible random ends could come out for him. Maybe a Last Whisper. He's looking to go crazy, go the Bruiser carry. Lee Sin, if he really wants to.
What do you think about this build? Bloodthirster? Bloodthirster, 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 Last Whisper.
Sure.
It would make Resonating
damage.
Strike very, very powerful. And I think it's you're not based off attack speed, it's all about that raw AD. Out comes the Tibbers.
Flash Tibbers actually does not end up connecting there on the tails. He flashes away. Ziggy was waiting the wings too for a possible wall in onto him, so nice play by Tails to escape that one. Almost good for email support.
Yeah, email support looking pretty in charge right now. No dragon has been taken by either side yet. No turrets have gone down quite yet. Ziggy is actually in the river right now. Could be looking towards the dragon. Of course, Karthus will help to chunk it down very quickly.
Oh, they're going to use the ace in the hole into him. Flash Flake comes through for Gaunty, gets the Death Sentence. Going to see a spear come through, but not connect. And with those tosses from Snuggled, he'll pick up the kill. Requiem comes out. Gaunty's going to end up dying through that heal, as Ziggy will find himself another kill. Wall jump over, but a dash of the wall with the safeguard comes in as he looks for the Sonic Wave, but cannot find it. Spear not going to connect either. So both of them kind of missing blindly on those skill shots. No dragon going to be started out here. We do have Yusui spotting out Pika Wolf. He just heals off, shrugs into the damage, throws the spear, and will scare him away. But with him hanging around dragon, that's going to be them not going for it either.
Yeah, with Karthus dead, of course, email support can't really take the risk of a Pantheon steal. And it really is risky. It's, oh, Kalen getting hit. Might go down from the follow-up.
He waited for the net. The flash of the wall comes through. Can he get the Haku for the kill? Oh, the Knight's going to tick down. Will it actually be able to kill? There we go. And we're going to see now Normalize come in. He got a double kill. I don't know how he bursted through that Pantheon, too. So going huge on that Lee Sin. Going to see him run away. Spear. Oh, he juked it. Nice juke by him. And that was some sick play coming in from Yusui.
I mean, Yusui does ridiculous damage right now. So Pantheon's based off his spells.
Zingy, what are you
doing? He doesn't want to go for this 2v1. His dragon definitely got picking sides right now.
A ton of damage coming in from that spear and the dragon. He was looking to solo it. He has the Wraith and the tier, so he can solo it at this point, but there's too many wards.
Yeah, a little bit rough for him, but they'll go ahead. They won't lose a Zingy. He doesn't have the ultimate for a decent amount of time, so he can't really participate in ganks for a bit. Zingy is a 2-1-0 right now, then 2 more kills for Yusui in the mid lane. I mean, his burst is going to be amazing. We've already seen his burst, and that's how Lee Sin works. He also gets really decent attack speed from his passive, which is kind of why you don't need to build attack speed. So you focus on the raw AD, you focus on that raw burst, and it makes him just an always threatening champion, especially to the squishies. They will never build enough defense to survive a Lee Sin combo unless a good Zonius comes out from Peckinwolf or a Guardian Angel respawns someone like Tails. So he will always have relevant damage the entire game. It's always about getting to that backline, though. That makes it so difficult. As Dragon Raider going to miss his hammers onto connected up at the top lane. Can't quite land those infected.
All right, and if you look at mid and ADC right now, they're pretty much the same mirrored items. Bloodthirster, Dorans, and Boots coming through.
But a mana potion for losing the bot lane rather than a health potion. The big difference, of course.
Mana
and
potion just on Yusui, just imagine even more. That's pretty funny. But, first dragon did go over to vVv, so some good control from there on that objective. But they're still down 1.3k gold at this point, so looking to see what they want to do next. Man drop is going to be available in a couple minutes, while Karthus Requiem coming up very soon, and he's still farming with this jungle. He's clearing through it as fast as possible, and currently has 78 CS to the 53, while some little mechanical play coming in from Yusui. Goes in with a Sonic Wave Resonating Strike, gets damage, and then just safeguards right on out of there. Looks for the Sonic Wave, cannot find it, and here comes the counter kick, gets snuggled, but a safeguard will keep Yusui safe. And now that's 3 members in mid from vVv. They really want to try to shut down Yusui here.
Unfortunately for Peckinwolf, he did not get hit by Resonating Strike. That would have set the bait. Peckinwolf should have been able to barely survive that with the barrier, so they could have gotten the kill onto Yusui. But fortunately, he missed his skill shot.
All right, wall comes through. Going to throw out the Skittles to clear out the rest of the wave. Sonic Wave for a little bit of harass as well. And we'll save it for a little bit longer.
Up top, Mundo going to work on the turret. Mid turret almost down in favor of vVv, but overall pretty equal map pressure. If Mundo can take out this turret, definitely give a lot more control towards email support. But so far, we've just seen Dragon Raider up top lane, farming. That's what you want to do on Mundo. Definitely going to be a lot less impactful than Chris could be for a mid lane gank. Those cleavers are nice, but they're more about sitting around for a good 10 seconds rather than going for that big bursty kill.
All right, and I'm waiting to see when Yasui goes back what he's going to pick up next. It did force out a Seeker's Arm Guard from Pekin Wolf, though. Normally wouldn't be going for that route because it just gets AP mages in the mid lane, looks at that magic resist. And it does affect Tempest Cripple, you know, that is a magic damaging ability, so a little bit of MR helps with that. But, you know, Sonic Wave, Resonating Strike, physical damage, that kick is physical damage as well. And with Blue Buff, you can actually out-sustain the damage that Yasui wants to put in. But now, they sweep out the brush, Descendants goes in. Looks like Pekin Wolf will be scared away while the command drop comes through. The wall gets popped out. They're looking to go on to Zig now. He flashes away, kites with the culling. We're going to see Skittles come through as Normalize picks up one, looking to pick up two. Oh. And that will be double kill over to that Annie support. While they do go 3 for none. That should be a turret going down. We do see Pekin Wolf getting chunked out in that mid lane. Chris got the tier 1 up top, pushed it out, forcing him to stay there. Oh, Sonic Wave does not go through the wall, though. Looking for Pekin Wolf now. He's going to chase him down. War jump through. Tempest Cripple. Force him away to flash and to pounce. So he gives up on the chase there. I may look for the red steal, though. It's very possible. While the tier 2 on the bot lane is being pressured, a bunch of damage going into that. Oh, he might try to steal this.
He might try and kill Peckle.
Oh, he got it.
He got it. There you
go.
Then he strikes.
Nice snipe in there for the Resonating Strike. And you're going to see now Dragon Raider tanking up all he can, kiting away. Looking to see if they can get alive here. While Gaunty now getting blown up. We're going to see the ace in the hole come through, but Ignite goes in onto Chris. Sonic Wave comes through. The Requiem comes in. Double kill, picks up one from bottom, one from mid. And we see Chris dangerously low, going to be looking to back off. And this Karthus jungle, not even running through lanes, just using that ultimate out of the jungle, picking up 2 kills. And that puts him at 4-1. That's absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, vVv just falling apart at the seams. Emo support, okay, that bottom gank was insane. Because normally, Pantheon jungle, you take out that first target, the support, the carry. You almost always have that pressure advantage because you have the numbers. But they ulted it into a Karthus. And they just fought in the AoE. They fought in the Skittles. They fought in that lay waste. And of course, with Karthus is just passive AoE being used up. They got burned to pieces. Like, vVv did not focus down the Karthus. They did not try to escape his AoE, and they got punished hard for it. Mid lane, you can see that, well, you can't 2v2 Lee Sin. Right now, Chris built Magic Resist. He cannot fight Lee Sin. He will lose that exchange. Of course, Nidalee, kind of the same deal. If you go for that straight-on fight that they did, you're going to get bursted down. So they went for just that risky fight bottom, try to play Pantheon like you normally would, burst down the support, burst down the carry, got punished for it by Karthus. And that fight in the jungle, kind of the same thing, trying to 2v2 versus Lee Sin. Lee Sin is just so powerful right now. This is not a common Lee Sin build. It's a common top lane Lee Sin build, common mid lane Lee Sin build. You go Sightstone for the extra mobility. Bloodthirster right now is going to be more than enough damage to burst down someone like Pekin Wolf. And you can even burst down someone like Chris, not maybe with one combo, but just because Chris has no armor right now, he still gets shredded to bits. This is incredibly good right now. Email support as Pantheon Ultimate will be canceled.
That gets canceled, so that's fine. And Yasui will live to see another day, and there were so many wards that were just picked up from the side of email support, so looking for a lot of map control, possibly looking to pressure next Dragon, which is up in 50 seconds. So if they can secure that, they'll be looking pretty good. Their 5,000 gold lead showing strong here. We do have get someone kind of camping out that mid lane, looking to try to pick up Yasui.
Pings onto him, though.
Yeah, all right. He backs off, and Chris now going to get chased out here by Dragon Raider. Leaves that Burning Rage up and running. Cleaver some waves and farms it up. As we do have Azini waiting in the wings in that mid lane, killing a pink ward though. So we'll be spotted out. He'll be forced to back out. While 20 seconds remain on the Dragon. If email support can get it, they'll look in a really strong position.
Now, they do have a very tanky front line from Mundo over on email support, but Lee Sin, he's going to go in aggressively if they do go for straight up 5v5, or he's going to have to wait in the wings and try and find that perfect snipe. And the risk there is, if he comes in too late, well, it might be too late. If he comes in too early, he could just get bursted down. So I want to see how email support try and fight this as a team fight. At the same time, they have essentially quad threats, because you have to take care of Mundo, you have to take care of Karthus. You cannot let Lucin go free in a team fight. And of course, this Lee Sin, well, Yasui's already showing that you have to kill him fast, or you die. So vVv, they have to take care of so many targets so quickly, and this with quad threats, who do you focus down first?
Well, with the Rylai's now, that's so much HP. Lee Sin, just a mobile champion. It's so hard to catch up. Dragon's going to be started up here by vVv. We're going to see email support come through, though. Spear not going to connect in. They're going to go into Pekin for a little bit of burst damage. Here comes Yasui, but cannot outsmite the smite. Culling to chase this one out. Wall does not connect. Flash forward comes in to foul to slow it a little bit. The Skittles are going to slow a bunch, and Yasui will find the Resonating Strike for the kill. Now the chase probably is going to continue here as he ward jumps forward. Sonic Wave hit. Oh, does not hit Tails. Chris, are you okay? All right. He was looking for the slice of the wall either way. Getting chased out by Dragon Raider there. and not able to join his team. So they find one kill, but they find a dragon from vVv's side, and it's a little bit of unfortunate as he couldn't get into the pit. So
definitely still like vVv clawing back a bit. They're getting something. Not a huge lead, but it's a little bit gold.
And Riley slow the Skittles, but they do steal blue buff away. They give it over to Zig, who now is going to chase down Tails. Tibbers comes through, a bunch of damage comes in from that Annie, and will it go through the barrier for the Ignite kill? Oh, she flashes forward, does not get the auto for the kill, and it will be Snuggle now flashing away as he requests that man drop, but the Requiem comes through, and it will actually find the kill on Tails, and those Requiems on point. Don't even really need to skill shot those, but now Chris looking to clean up whatever he can. The wall, though, slowing him for about 99%. He just cannot make his way in. Riley's Skittles so strong that slow increased on solo targets. While War Jump comes through, Peek and Wolf going to be the target here. Tempest Cripple comes out.
No energy, though.
That's the fault of Lee Sin. Sonic Wave.
He lands it. He could have gone for that and probably picked up the kill, but would have died in response.
Flash,
actually, no Dragon's range up, so definitely didn't go for the suicidal option, which the safer option.
That was... it would have been fun to see him just die.
It would have been fun. He would have gone destroyed. But still, I mean, vVv, they cannot fire right now. So the Karthus wall is delaying long enough that Chris could even use Slice and Dice aggressively forward. It's not a long-range skill, but if you proc the Slice with the Dice, it gives you about 600 range. So that of about an 80 carry. The problem is, well, he's getting slowed from such a far range because Wall has a massive, massive range. Dragon Raider, of course, too beefy to really care about anything right now.
Warmogs.
I mean, straight up Warmogs. It's going to be efficient. There's not a lot of percentage damage coming out from vVv. There really isn't any source for that type of damage. And he's just been kind of passively farming up the lane all game. Chris will still have trouble kind of breaking through him, so it's going to be fine. Still be very efficient.
And those tier 2s down bot, I think they'll look to push out the rest of them. There's still 2 in top, 2 in mid. Looking to make it 1 in mid now as they will secure their 3rd turn of the game. With that one, Decimus does not connect from Gaunt. They're almost in range to connect to Zig, but he gets out just fine. While Wolves going over to Tails, and Azini went back to base. Let's see if Saris embraces the real big thing here. Can he finish off that item? Sweeper comes through on this Baron side. They have a really fast Baron too, actually. We've not really talked about that objective because we don't usually expect it before like 30 minutes. Solo Karthus damage is huge. He picked up a Rod too. Looking for a Zanya's Hourglass. There's a Tiamat for Yasui. So looking for that Hydra, which would give him a ton of extra life steal.
This burst would be insane too. You have to realize that Revenant's Hydra is essentially an extra 1-to-1 damage spell in terms of scaling, so it's still incredibly efficient. And you factor in his already very massive burst, and someone like Peck will get taken down almost instantly. The Baron is massive though, because Lee Sin will do as much damage as an 80 carry at this point. Maybe a little bit less because he won't have any critical strike, but still be pretty dang high. Of course, Lucian has pretty good Baron damage, and then Mundo has Cleavers, which will also shred through Baron, and Azingi, like you said, that solo lay waste damage means it could probably take Baron down in less than 10 seconds.
I feel like 10 seconds is a bit of an overestimate there.
Okay, 5 seconds. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Bit of an underestimate
I'd
there.
say 10 to 15 would be what you're looking for. They really do shred through Baron, especially because Azingi's just doing so well. That large rod is massive.
Oh. Held my breath there. It's like, is he going in? No. Decides not to. Chris is going to get poked out there by Dragon Raider. We're going to see a wall slow him down for a little bit. There is the Satan ultimate coming in to... That's the passive, excuse me. There's the, I forgot the ultimate. We do see Snuggle now getting initiated on by Yasui, who takes a bunch of damage, gets speared. Ward jumping away into a Descent flashes while hooked there. The box and the kick. He cannot get out as it will be Snuggle picking up that one. And now his team's in a bit of an awkward spot. Spears from nearly getting laid in, but Zig left alone mid. Actually with Tails kind of holding him off there, so he won't be able to get tier 2, unfortunately.
Yeah, a bit rough for Yasui, though. this is kind of the issue run to his Lee Sin. You can't follow every resonating strike, and the one on the solo Pantheon seems safe, but unfortunately there were some vVvs hiding in the bushes. Now, that can happen in team fights. That can happen very easily, very quickly. Yasui just is not tanky. Lee Sin's, you'll normally see them kind of be tough to take down, but his only HP is going to be from Sight Zone and Endurance Blade. No real tankiness. Dragon Raider caught out here. He is Mundo, so he might be fine. Could flash over the wall if necessary. In comes the Pantheon ult, though.
Yeah, there we go. Instant flash over the wall there. And that's a big ultimate gone now from Snuggled, so maybe holding off on a fight for that. But no flash for that Mundo. He does have the ultimate up, though. And we'll be going back to base either way to heal up, but that's going to cost him a tier 1 mid, so nice little play gets them a turret inside of vVv.
And email support kind of losing that bit of pressure. They need to make sure they maintain this because, you know, Nidalee Spear, it doesn't matter if you're far ahead. If Nidalee Spears start poking out really hard, it becomes very, very easy to be forced on the retreat. If one spear lands on someone important like Annie, if one spear lands on a Zingy, all of a sudden they cannot go into a team fight because the Zingy will die too quickly, die out of range of being efficient, and email support's on the back end out of nowhere. So they still have to worry about Peckenwolf. They still have to worry about the initiation coming in from Pantheon. They can't split push too hard because at that point they risk just getting bursted down with like Caitlyn Pantheon combos. And Lee Sin is no longer able to combo down people, you know, with one set of skills. It might take a little bit more. It's definitely fast still, but someone like Caitlyn can survive. Someone like Peckenwolf might be able to get away, especially with those barrier procs. And if they waste enough time, if you waste enough time chasing someone, that gives a chance for support to show up.
Speaking of chasing this dragon, maybe gonna be the first one for email support. There we go. They finally get themselves that objective, as maybe looking for a chase or some cleavers, chase down onto the target, but can't seem to find it. So email support get themselves their first nice respawning global objective. Then that, and maybe looking for a siege down mid. They possibly can. If anything, Karthus can take the turret, die, and then just be in that passive and try to do all the damage you can with the Requiem and such.
It's
Tails
risky, but it's owned.
Takes a bunch of damage, takes a Skittle, takes the wall, and a Cleaver to the face. So forced to go back to base to heal. Some nice poke coming in already. Well, Ward's getting dropped into the wall. They're getting cleared out. Conti waiting for that one, but they're sitting on top of it, and they're able to clean that one just fine. As Dragon Raider moves up, they see Talisman Ascension. Hits the trap, flash forward. Timbers on a Chris, gets Death Sentence though. In response, Ignite gets dropped down, the turret falls, and so does Annie. That's a one-for-one trade. Karthus picking up one, while Renekton picks up the other. And are they going to be done here? Stun lands in onto Zig, who will get ace in the hold. That actually did reset because he didn't kill the Annie. It didn't even go off. While the Skittles are slowing Peckenwolf, we might see a Requiem for the kill there, or a barrier forced out. He heals, and he does pop a barrier, so that will keep him alive for a little bit longer. And now with the culling going through in the mid lane, he's clearing out the wave and providing a lot of poke, but he's dangerously low and will be forced to back out.
They don't get a kill with a barrier, but it is going to be a long cooldown burn, and Ziggy does have some cooldown reduction himself, so not going to be the worst trade overall. This barrier is a very long cooldown spell. And this is just kind of constant pressure coming out from email support. They lost their Annie, but it's A-OK. Peckenwolf's not going to 1v1 Ziggy, but it's going to be a dangerous fight. Ziggy just tearing through him.
Defile needs one more Skittle. Can he actually find it, though, is the question. Zanya's Hourglass comes through, looks for the Skittle after that. No, cannot find it. He forces the flash out, though, and Yasui's trying to chase him down is the answer. But Dragon Raider going to kite through with these Cleavers, and Yasui possibly not to give up the chase. He drops Ignite. I don't know if that's going to be enough to kill. It looks like if it gets one more tick, it will be, but does not end up falling. Peckenwolf will survive on that Nidalee. While Talisman goes through, they chase on with the man drop too. He's going to get the kick, disengage Chris, and he is going to die. Stuns come out, change he's seeing, Ignite goes through, and it will be snuggled to pick up that one kill as they rotate for this tier 1 in the bot lane with that 3-man push.
Just two sudden pickups. He could not land the skills, unfortunately, onto Peckenwolf. Almost took him down with just the Defile, though. Now, 2-man defense, though, against 3. We can see Nidalee and Caitlyn just not in the area, so this will be just most of the push. I cannot see vVv going for a hard push, though. The minions getting cleared out too quickly, and there's always that risk of someone like Lucian showing up, as they do not have vision on it, and haven't had it for quite some time. So vVv are making the good fights back every now and then. It's a burst, a couple of kills. They might catch Mundo out here, actually, but they definitely will catch Annie if she gets stunned.
Yeah, so the nice Cleaver and the stun from Annie stops Renekton in distractions a little bit. Mundo's going to face tank a lot of this damage, though. Does not have the sadism. I don't know if he does.
Not quite up yet. Could be a second or two.
All right, so Spear not going to connect. Ignite comes through. He's going to run through with that sadism going. Timbers comes out, but it's not enough to stop them. And another nice little 3-man to 4-man gank comes through as they Talisman away and pick up a kill. So they're slowly clawing their way back in. Only 6,000 gold behind, so they're looking to come back.
Athene's looks like it will almost be finished by Peckenwolf. Going to be a nice little power spike, especially the CDR. Going to be huge on him. And really, email support, they have to start making plays happen now. They had some great pressure before, but the longer this game goes out, the less effective an assassin Lee Sin will be, the less effective their late game will be. I do like the Karthus. The Karthus has been amazing, and that's actually going to be what really holds him together late game. But Nidalee spears can always deter fights. It just takes Peckenwolf to land 1 or 2 spears to stop all pressure from email support. And we've seen these spears land before. Peckenwolf is a fantastic Nidalee. So I want to make sure email support doesn't keep delaying this, because the longer the game goes on, the worse it's going to be. Just because playing at least in versus Nidalee, one of those champions will scale really well in the late game. The other will eventually fall off a tad bit. By a tad bit, I mean by
a lot.
Quite a bit. He will just be ineffective, especially versus now. Renekton's going to be pretty tanky. Not have a lot of physical defense, but the Warden's Mill should be enough to protect him for long enough to survive, especially with the Dominus combined in there. And Pantheons will be getting there eventually.
Also, when that Void Staff, the Beacon Wolf's picked up, it's going to be a huge buy for him. The Spear's going to just chunk through. I'm trying to figure out where else Yasui's going to go with this build. He currently... he needs a Last Whisper, I think. He's got the Hydra and BT, a ton of sustain to come in from those items. Look, he just heals off all that spear damage he just took, so completely going to be ignoring all that. But are they going to go for wards on Baron? Are they going to try to bait it out? Are they going to clear it?
I want to see him push again. That blast push worked out so well. It just takes landing 1 or 2 lay waste. They actually both have really good poke, lay waste and spears. The Skittles, of course, people aren't used to dodging them quite as much as they used to because Karthus isn't seen too often. So that is definitely a huge one-up vVv don't have going for them. They do not have less predictable skill shots. Karthus going in though.
All right, and Snuggle going to get the Lantern to pull away as he's still very slow, but with that Lantern, the Culling comes out on the side there. Not able to find him though. Hits a few, but not all, so they're going to go over the wall most likely, but Spears come through. Is it crazy going to go down? They're going to actually start buried from the side of email support. I guess they feel confident enough to do this. Man drop going to come in though. Chris flashes over the wall. Are they going to find the steal though is the question. Oh, Ziggy actually ends up picking it up though. Nice smite for him as Get Snuggled without falling. Chris is going to follow suit. That's a 2 for none. Talisman to disengage, and Baron up now. Email support finally making the play they needed to make a while ago, and will be able to push down this mid lane and go for an inhibitor as they snag the first Baron of the game.
They're going to barrel down through the mid lane. Not much real defense coming out here. Nili doesn't have the greatest wave clear. Caitlyn has good wave clear, but she's not mid. This inhibitor should be going down no problem. I think it's going into the Baron pit like that. Pantheon was fighting under a Karthus defile in the Karthus pit, in the Karthus zone. Just taking way too much damage. Same thing happened to Chris. Chunked down just way too quickly. Zingy is carrying them through this late game, and it's working out perfectly well.
Karthus carries.
Yeah, if you fight into a Karthus, that is much harder to do than fighting as Karthus going forward. And because a lot of the fights that they're winning, it's vVv moving towards Karthus, he's able to just kind of plant himself down, say, all right, I'm going to land some skill shots now, and just try to predict and land those Skittles. And if those Skittles do land, I mean, they're doing ridiculously high damage at this point.
And
Karthus skills so fast. Yeah, and slowing, of course. That Rylai's Crystal Scepter are going to do immense CC. I think Seraph's Embrace might be just about finished now by a Zingy, and if that's the case, they're going to have A, Baron buff, and B, a just tanky team. Look at all that gold. Oh, man, look at all that money.
2,000 plus across the board. When they finish shopping, their item inventory is going to look crazy. So we see the Seraph's actually done for Zingy, like you said. BF Sword, another one picked up there for Zig, and a Last Whisper completed in that buy for Yasui. So huge power spikes and survivability for the side of email support.
That is a lot of gold, a lot of items, and man, with that mid inhibitor down, that Superman's pushing in. This means it's a lot easier for email support to go for that siege, and actually it means it'll have an easier time setting up the Karthus walk-in strategy, where Karthus just walks into the enemy team and wins. Because if they're down a member because someone's clearing out minions, that's going to just give them so much advantage. They don't have a good way to actually punt Karthus out of the fight. Back in the day, used to be using someone like Lee Sim, but Chris is caught out of position here. They have a lot of slow, but it's going to be enough.
Flash to Annie. No, Talisman comes through, looking for the 2-man Timbers. Does end up finding Antagonti there. A ward. Oh, actually a flash in from Yasui. While now Ziggy getting soloed on the side there. Spear does connect us half of his life. Pops the Seraphs, though. He is a tanky Karthus. See the Skittles connecting. The slow comes out. He toggles the defile for the extra damage. He looks to go back to base. No, he's going to heal up with the Baron. He'll be fine. He'll actually sustain off the minions, which is crazy. Skittle healing is absolutely ridiculous. You can taste the whole rainbow with that. Jungle clear. And
oh, that is sick. That is disgusting, that Karthus healing in the jungle.
100 plus per Skittle. So I don't know where you find that package. I really want it. But now, tier 2 up top.
I think it's a discontinued flavor. Or not available in our area, but the rainbow is still effective.
Because, you know, Karthus kind of a zombie.
True. Zombie Skittles, I don't think they sell well.
Zombie Skittles. That'd be pretty cool. Get brain flavored, mush flavored.
Reminds me like the Harry Potter like Betty's flavored beans they used to sell back in elementary school. I remember those. Those were fun.
Those were great.
The earwax never tasted good. They got that taste down right.
But now we do see Yasui split pushing like he should be on the Lee Sin, because I'm pretty sure no one can tussle with him right now. We see Cleavers and Skittles going out across the board. While Chris gonna get blown up. Ignite comes to the force of the Dominus. He's gonna take a bunch of damage from the turret. He kicks away, gets snuggled. Kind of a interesting fight there, while the man drop now going to continue through, looking for the Talisman to chase this one out, but still, Zingy's slowing everybody down, keeping his team safe and allowing them to disengage. But Chris gets to heal up and home guard back to this fight. Could look to make something happen, but still, email support so strong at this point. I don't really think they can still contest them.
Karthus is low on mana. They can't stay along too long. Spear does land on the Mundo. They they have to back up, actually. Karthus will not have enough mana to sustain through a fight. So what's really going to stop them is not so much the enemy as much as their own mana bars. But, I mean, Yasui died diving the Nexus turrets. And he still almost got a kill. It was still a lot of effort to take him down. I think the thing there is, if he picks up a kill, he'll die in response. That's okay because he'll still be 4 members strong. They can easily take out the top turret. Fortunately, he could not secure the kill, so they do have to back on out. But 12,000 gold lead. Karthus is just so powerful right now. He's tanky. He has decent AP. It's not the same as, like, let's say, a Death Cap, Seraph's Embrace, Void Staff build, but the damage is still crazy that he's dishing out. And he can also reach the squishies fairly reliably with so much CC coming out from Lee Sin and the Tibbers, actually. Let's give some credit to Annie.
Yeah.
That's some great stuns, great Tibbers so far.
Yeah, 2-man Tibbers coming through huge for him. He's got Boots of Lucidity and the Talisman of Ascension, so looking for a possible 40% CDR. And that'll pretty much give him a permanent Tibbers. And Zanya's Hourglass now picked up for him too, so looking for some AP and some survivability so he can go into the fight. Possibly start it out and let his team clean up. And Giant's Belt now also for Yasui, so looking for some sustain. Oh, well, some extra flat HP so he can fight a little bit longer. Man, it's looking a little rough for vVv. They're 12,000 gold behind, so they have a lot of work to do to come back into this one.
It's spears. They have to land spears onto a Zingy. They have to land spears onto Adrian. They can't land spears on Mundo because they'll sustain back up. Can't land spears onto Lee Sin or Lucien because the same thing. They'll just lifesteal right back up. Yep. So he has to land spears onto one of 2 champions, and they're staying very far back, very defensively.
All right, Dustinus doesn't connect, and that lets the inhibitor go down, as it'll be the second time for email support to take that one out. And Barons in 1:25, they could look to just set up for that and push out top, and then go for a final possible game-ending push or possibly some kills in the back of peel by, and then go for a game-ending push. So we'll see what route they want to go for, as Dragon and Baron relatively the same timers, and could be the objective that they want.
I mean, this will actually take email support up to a total of 3 wins. This has not been a strong season for them in terms of victory, but they've been improving game to game, coming up with kind of crazy strategies like this, like Lee Sin mid, Karthus jungle. You expect the Karthus jungle still unorthodox, but the Lee Sin mid has not been seen. Pantheon ult coming out, though.
All right, they're looking for Zig right now. And, oh no, a little bit of a misclick on the Zanyas there from Adrian. I know he didn't want to do that one. He wanted to go in and counter that Pantheon gank. Oh, I know that feel.
He triggered the Talisman and the Zonias at the same time. That's a little bit of a fat finger, unfortunately. Luckily, Talisman doesn't have the longest cooldown. Zonias, well, now you have to be a manly Annie. A Manny.
Manny just flashed right on in there.
Flash the Nexus turrets, pull Yasui.
But I think he would actually survive. Manny's pretty strong.
Manny might actually be a little bit tankier than Lee Sin before the Giants belt with that Zonias, actually.
Yep.
Had a Molten Shield, to be quite honest, but still. Baron up in 10 seconds. This will be a fast Baron if they do just start it up. Dragon Raider not in the area, but he has teleport. He does not have teleport, actually. Nope. He's the Moon without teleport, one of the few. So he won't be able to back him up, but he's also distracting Peckinwolf.
All right, so keeping him busy there. They're going to go in, and we'll actually see how long this takes. They started at 358. Looking for the culling, looking for a bunch of damage. And with a few more kills, it will go down. We'll see the buff going out to Dragon Raider when he finishes flashing away.
10 seconds called it.
10 seconds. It took them to finish exactly on that Baron. Destinus comes out, and Gaunty, what? All right, he's going to pull in Tails. Who I don't know what he's going to do.
You want to do that.
Randuin's Omen and Warmog. He's got Regen from Baron now. Got to kite this one away. Talisman essentially comes through. Cleaver connects. Oh, Requiem's coming out.
They're coming.
All right, bunch of damage comes through. We have Annie on the side. Going to flash Tibbers. Look for one. Actually does get Tails through his net. Looking for the Lantern, but it does fade. And that will be him falling down to Zig, who now is chasing down to get snuggled. Finds it for Dragon Raider for the kill. Yasui going in on the Sonic Wave. Resonating Strike picks up the kill on Gaunty with his Hiku. And we'll see the inhibitors go down, and this is most likely a game for email support over vVv.
Chris and Peckinwolf. Peckinwolf has to start landing spears right about now. Hits a minion, and this should be game. Unless Chris can make the biggest play of his life, this will not be the biggest play of his life. He's already forced back to the turret. Back to the Nexus. They're going to take him out, actually.
Oh, can he find the Q after the Zanyas? He does! And Izingi will pick up that last of the game, and will be game for email support over vVv. That was crazy.
That was a weird game. That was a cool strategy. That was a very, very email support strat. Email support and vVv, not the most orthodox teams, but that was still very cool to watch. Zingy Karthus, it's good. It gets banned out quite often. I think it might take a ban more than the Fiddlesticks. And then Yasui mid-Lee Sin? What?
Yeah.
It worked. Yeah, all right. It works. Keep doing it. I love it.
and maybe we'll see it again. He spoiled us with that one. We're going to be going to a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the final game of tonight as the hype train that is Team 8 will be taking on LMQ TNC by Power. So we'll be seeing you when that game is loaded and ready to go. So stay tuned.